Welcome to Conversations of the Heart in honor of the NBA playoffs that's going on out here. I love this old NBA theme song. And since we are talking fitness um, with my guest today, I just kind of wanted to just set the tone off right. And I missed that the NBA on NBC, man. Yep, that's where we're at. Appreciate you rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a couple weeks. Took a couple weeks off, but we back, and looking forward to having this conversation with the great Athena. We're gonna be talking about health, wellness, physical fitness, things like that. So I'm just gonna wait for her to tap in. Fada, what's good, babe? So yeah, man. And here, the legend, um, the legend is here. Oh, Athena, the legend, the legend. Oh man, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. I think it's very, very important. What you're doing, what you've been doing, what I've been seeing you do, as far as health, fitness, wellness, and things like that. So I definitely appreciate you doing this. You are a fitness guru. Um, as if people can see from the picture, that we had on the flyer, you are absolutely you're in shape. You're looking amazing out here. You're doing better than everybody, including myself. You're putting everybody to shame out here. So thank you for doing this. You are the perfect person to do this with. So I definitely appreciate you
Thank you,
doing
Terrence.
this. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Um, so let's start. You are a big fitness buff. When did that start? How did that start? Um, and why is it so important to you?
I've been into sports since I was a little kid. Used to
Oh,
play basketball, played soccer in college. So
hmm,
fitness was a big thing in my life and my family's life.
right.
Like everyone's very active. And when I
Hmm,
graduated, I didn't know what to do. Like I was like, I'm not
hmm,
sure. I still want to be active, but I wasn't sure um, which path to take. So
right.
I got into personal training and I was like, wow, I really like
Yes.
this because
Hmm,
as I'm training other people, I'm getting active myself. You know, when
right.
you work in a gym, you're
Hmm,
surrounded by so many like-minded people that want to work out with you. So,
hmm,
it's like something to do every day. Like if you're
hmm,
bored, if you don't have any clients, train yourself.
hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
mhm.
So that's dope, and you've been doing that for a long time. I didn't even know that. I thought it's something that happened maybe over the last 10 years or so, but you've been doing that since you was a kid. So,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So, what about for somebody who, let's just say, hasn't played sports as a kid and they're looking to get in shape and they just don't have the motivation like you? Like, how do you get started? Because most of us normal folks, we do the stop start, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I get really, really excited. I got a vacation coming up. I got to lose this pounds. I got to lose this weight, or you got a wedding, or there's an occasion or something that's like, oh, I have to get the weight down. Then once you get the weight down and the occasion
Mhm.
happens, that's it. And then you go
Yeah.
back into your routine. So how would somebody get started with it and truly, truly stick with it?
My first thing is, you got to be realistic. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be absolutely realistic. If you're going away in like a month, don't
Mm-hmm.
expect to lose 50 pounds. Like it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, take it day by day. A
Mm-hmm.
really good tip is to have an accountability partner if you know if this is something new for you and you have a friend that's also interested in doing it, it would be great to have someone to do it with you so you guys can motivate each other on some days that you might not be feeling like working out and the other person may not be feeling like working out. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the biggest thing is to I think would be to get an accountability partner. If that's not available to you,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is the greatest thing ever. They have
True.
so many videos. I call it YouTube University because you can find so many things
That's
to,
dope.
work on, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and it's free. You don't need weights. You can start off small.
Hmm.
Especially, when you're starting, you don't want to put too much on your plate and end up hurting yourself. So then you can't work out and you won't be able to lose any weight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
so that's a big deal. So, start off small. If you haven't
Hmm.
worked out in over a year, I would recommend that the person just stick to body weight.
Hmm.
Don't incorporate any weights yet. Go on a walk, go maybe do a light jog somewhere, start off really small. You don't have to do a membership at the gym and get the biggest personal training package and go to every class, but it's
Hmm.
also good to start very, very small.
Uh, that's really good advice, and I'm really glad that you talked about the accountability partners. And I think those are essential in life in general too. I'm
Hmm.
so grateful for mine. But definitely having an accountability partner, somebody that you can maybe go to. Well, I mean, can't say go to the gym now, but work out with now. Maybe
Yeah.
come to your house. You guys can do stuff outside and things like that. Um, so with you, you're very motivational, and you may not even know that, but whenever I see you post something, it's like you got all this good food. You're actively working out. Like I used to see you, like the watch, like you post your watch, you see the calories, the time.
Hmm.
And sometimes I think I used to see it like at 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I
Five
was
or six
like,
in the morning.
I say, oh, good God.
You
You
got to
know,
do what's works best for you, like
yeah, yeah.
the morning is the
Yeah,
best for me.
yeah. No, I'm more of a night owl, so sometimes I
Okay.
don't go to bed till like 2 or 3 in the morning. So getting up at 5 is
Mm,
sometimes it's just like dreadful. But you're right. You do have to do what's best for you. But no, but when I see you do these posts, and it's not like bragging posts. It's not like, oh, look at me posts. And it's not wrong with that, but it's just like you really putting in this work. You know
mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, like when you see on social media, you see a lot of the thirst traps. You see a lot of the, what I'm talking about. Oh, we at the gym and there's no working out going on. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I mean? But like you're like you be putting in that work, and that's super inspiring. So I always thought about that, and it used to inspire me. So like to get out there and I love boxing and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I do boxing and stuff like that. So I just be like, yo, Athena is definitely somebody who is a queen and definitely is out here inspiring us in the right way. So salute to you with that. So
Thank you.
now you mentioned, vacationing and, of course, getting ready for that trip in 30 days and things like that. So what
Mhm.
people normally do is I gotta go on this diet, this
Yeah.
30-day diet, and I gotta lose 25 pounds in 30 days. So I'm gonna, and they try a lot of these different diets that's out there. Um, but I do know that normally shouldn't really be a diet. It should be a lifestyle change,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And so, if you can break that down for me, for people who like to eat, like myself and others,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
you know, dieting, versus a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. So when I think of diet, I think of restrictions.
Mm,
I think of things that they tell you you're not allowed to eat and,
mm,
things like that. And you end up craving those things. And, once you get a little taste of it, you might go crazy. You might have more than you want. So lifestyle changes, you're able to eat whatever you want, but it's within the serving size, or you have
mm,
a little cheat meal once every week or every 2 weeks, so you're not
mm,
restricting yourself, so it's not as bad.
right,
That I don't like to use the word diet. I feel like
right,
it's like, oh, I'm on this diet, and it's such a 90s word to me, so I don't really think of I don't really
right.
think of it as but yeah, a lifestyle change, like, stop drinking soda, maybe drinking more water, having soda once in a while, that's fine. or not eating so much red meat as much. Like you could have red meat maybe once every 2 weeks, that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
you don't want to restrict yourself completely because you're going to be unhappy.
Yo,
You're going
let
to
me
be
tell you something.
unhappy.
I tried to cut Doritos out of my diet. And it's not really a diet, but like, I tried to cut Doritos out of my life
Hmm.
for a while. Let me tell you something. The first time I had a Dorito, it was finished. The bag was gone. I went back to the store. I got another different type of Doritos. I was out here
Hmm.
just disgusting because it was just like, oh my gosh, like I've missed
Hmm.
this so much, and people say, like you shouldn't eat red meat, and I understand that. Um, I could probably give up everything except for steak.
I
Um,
love steak. I love steak.
you can miss me with that. And now I'm not going to eat it every week now.
Hmm.
I'm not crazy, but
Yeah.
you know, I can't give that. I mean, I'm
Okay.
already for me because everybody has different things. Like for me, I have different allergies, right? So I'm allergic to shellfish. So I can't just go out there and get
Mm.
crab legs and
Oh
lobster and oysters,
man.
or stuff that everybody likes. I can't do that.
No,
So
you can't.
you can't take the steak away too. You just can't.
No,
You can't. That's disrespectful. You can't do this to me.
absolutely.
Then I'm just gonna have chicken. And
Yeah,
whatever with that.
chicken's a little tired after a while, you get a little tired of
Yeah,
chicken. But that's
yeah.
another thing
Except.
with lifestyle changes. You can also have so much variety, because you're
Hmm.
not restricting yourself when you have certain foods.
Right,
Hmm.
right. Because
Yeah,
also from a health standpoint, from what I understand, when people try these diets, a lot of times it can be detrimental to their health. And they don't even
absolutely.
know it.
Absolutely.
These
Hmm.
crash diets and certain things, and I've heard of just different things like they losing weight so rapidly, but then they gain it back really fast too. But then they also are doing things to themselves that are very unhealthy. So it's just
Hmm.
do your due diligence on the diets, or whatever the case is that you're trying as well. Because people do intermittent fasting, they do all types of just different things, keto, and there's like a thousand of these diets out there. But you got to be very, very careful for your body, um,
Yes.
as well, and make sure you eat. Also, I think that's super important because when people say, you know, I want to lose weight, so they stop eating. But when they stop eating, they don't really understand that the food takes more time
Yeah,
to it sticks to you. Like the food sticks to you,
exactly.
and it doesn't digest like it's supposed to. So, it's just
Yeah.
really just doing things sensibly, um, and within reason. And everything is about lifestyle, and that's what I really appreciate about you is the lifestyle. Like when I see you and we had different events. Like sometimes you may have a cocktail in your hand. I'm not saying
Absolutely.
you don't
Yes.
overdo it, people. You don't
No,
overdo it, people.
yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. But you're not one of these people who just you know because you're a fitness buff. It's just like you just judgy, and you just like, oh, you shouldn't
No.
have that.
Yeah.
Um, like you can do things like you said, um, in moderation, right?
Hmm.
Um, and to be able to still enjoy life. And when I look at sometimes like, oh, what's on your feed, I mean, whoever's watching, please go follow her, check out her feed because she be having different types of food, like different types of I saw you have like pancakes or different types of pancakes that is healthy
Oh,
for you.
protein pancakes. So
I never heard of that until I saw it on your live, and
it
on your
tastes like
feed.
regular pancakes. It tastes like regular pancakes. And then, on some days I want to cheat a little bit, I'll put some chocolate chips in it. But I do have like sugar-free syrup that doesn't taste like, like medicine. So I really like
Sugar-free
that.
syrup,
I'll send you the I'll send
sugar-free.
you the brand.
Now, all right. So you had me at protein pancakes. Okay, I could try it, but I'm kind of, very particular with my pancakes. But I'll try the protein pancakes.
Yeah, they taste like regular
But
pancakes.
what I can't get past what you just said is sugar-free syrup.
Yep.
That's
They
just
have
that to me, like that is like turkey bacon. Is
Oh
disrespectful to
no.
bacon. Like, well, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
like
no, come on.
turkey bacon.
And neither
I
do
don't like
I. But
turkey bacon.
I rather, you know what? Just get rid of the bacon. I just want to have nothing. I don't want no. I want no parts of turkey bacon. But that's what this sounds like to me. It's not sugar free. Sugar free syrup sounds like that to me. Like is that even remotely good? Like,
It
and it's
is. I
sugar free
found
good
out
for you
that
though. It's
yes,
sugar free
I
good for you because they said like
yes,
it
it
has like
does.
like aspartame and different things in it,
Oh,
and I don't.
yeah, this one doesn't. I
Okay,
can't pronounce it, but it begins with the letter E.
okay.
Urethral. I'm a super
Oh, that
taster,
sounds like
so
medicine.
I I'm a super taster, so I could taste almost everything. So my taste
Uh
buds
huh.
are very sensitive. Like I'm really weird about chicken. I'm weird about, when I go out to eat, it has to taste a certain way.
Right.
But this tastes fine. It tastes like regular syrup to me. I do have maple syrup, and some days I don't want that on there. I'll just slap on some almond butter. So, you know.
Okay. You know, I'll try. You know what? You send me the picture of the syrup, and I may have to
Okay.
try it.
Okay.
I'll
I'll send
and
it
the
to you.
protein pancakes. You got to send me this. I'll try the pancakes, no problem,
Okay.
and I'll do a little slither of that to see how that works for me.
Good.
Shout out to
Good.
Nadia's in the building.
Hey,
So
Nadia.
man, man, that blew my mind. So butter. Now, I just real quick. I like my pancakes with butter.
That's fine. You
That's
can
just
have it
me.
with butter. That's fine. You
Is
can
there
have it
any
with
type of
butter.
different type of butter that you use that don't have real butter in it? I just need to know. Like, is
Stay
there any
away
type of butter
from
that you use?
margarine. I would stay away from. Um, you know,
Oh, the good stuff. Okay.
yeah, the fake butter. I would definitely stay away from that. Um,
Oh,
Regular butter,
okay.
I do
All right.
Irish butter, unsalted, salted. It doesn't matter. As long as you, like I said
Irish
before,
butter.
as long as you have it in moderation, you should be fine. You're not like doing globs of butter on stuff, then it would be a problem. Like if too much of one food is going to be bad for you
Yeah.
regardless, so
Hmm.
everything in moderation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for years. Now COVID hits. I mean, you
hmm
be in the gym, you go crazy in the gym. I already know. So COVID hits. What
hmm
happens?
The
What
first thing I did was
happens?
try to look for weights online. That was my first thing to do. Look for weights
Wow.
online.
Hmm.
I was in the house. It was cold out. I was in the basement just doing my YouTube workouts, just trying
Hmm.
to hold myself accountable because, I knew that this was a tough time for everyone and I was,
Right.
it's kind of hard because you're in the house, like you're not around people or anything like that. All you have is, TV, social media, Netflix, that kind of thing. And you're in your house and there's nothing but you in the fridge. So that was one thing where I had to make sure that I was still being consistent and still
Hmm.
prepping my meals, um,
Mm.
to make sure that I was, doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm.
I
Man.
was, how are you?
Oh, well, if you want to be honest, I was meal prepping the first 2 months of COVID. I was doing good
hmm
March and April,
hmm
and that was it.
It's
My
hard.
life was changed after that. My life was different. I was
hmm
cooking, I was doing all this stuff, and then DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates,
Mm.
they all came into my life all at once, and that was it. That
It's
was
hard.
completely, yeah, and it was tough, and then I was getting all the foods that I love again, that I forgot that I really did love, and it was just a downward just spiral of just all the foods I know I'm not supposed to be eating, the fried foods, and you ordering from the restaurants, your favorite restaurants now, you know,
hmm
everything I accomplished just just left my life. I don't know what to tell you.
What were you thinking when you were eating those food like that, takeout
What
food?
was I thinking? Oh,
Yeah.
I was in my glory. I was happy. Yeah, I was happy. Like, cause truthfully, what happens is when, especially during COVID, you're inside and
hmm
you can't go anywhere, and people forget like it started in March and it was still kind of cold, so
Yeah.
like. it wasn't like outside dining, outside working out. Like people, it was kind of cold, right? So, you know, by that time, it was just like, I want something to make me happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want something to look forward to. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew in 45 minutes I was going to be happy. I hit the Uber app, I press send, and it says 45 to 55 minutes. I'm going to have
Mm-hmm.
happiness at my door.
Mm-hmm.
And it was even like that with the liquor, too. Like, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I'm be honest. This is conversation of the heart. I'm be honest. Delivered to my door. That too. The bottles to my door. 2 hours.
Damn.
Then I will start to get happy. But when you get happy, they say you get fat.
Yes,
And
that is true.
and you start gaining 5 and 10, and you're like, okay. You start looking at yourself, you know what I'm saying, in the mirror, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
my face is getting a little, and then you put on your pants a little bit, and your pants let you know your pants is disrespectful because they let you know they go all the
They
way up, but they just
very
don't button.
humbling
It's so
experience.
disrespectful.
Very
Yeah,
humbling.
yeah.
Very
You
humbling.
know, and so I fell off the wagon. Very disappointed in myself. Um, so I got a bike. I finally got a bike. Finally, I was able to find a bike
Good.
online because those were just selling out like hotcakes. And then the ones that you
Yeah.
found were $1,000. Um, um, and
Yeah.
so yeah, so I found the bike and I started working out and started doing those things, and then I hurt my knee. So then now I'm in the house again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't work out. I can't ride my bike. And but you know who was always there? Postmates, Uber Eats. They
DoorDash.
was there. DoorDash. They was all there for me when I was down. And
Mm.
but now when I look back at it, it's like it's got to come to a point to where um, we got to shift back to the lifestyle that I had
Mm-hmm.
before all of this happened. Because
Absolutely. Yes.
you what's coming. The winter is coming again, and we may not be able to go anywhere anyway. The flu season's
Mm-hmm.
back. Things might shut down again. They might not, but it's not going to be the same winter
Yep.
anyway. You can't go to the
Yeah.
gym. Well, I mean, you might can if that's your choice, right? But it's not going to be the same. So if you don't
No,
get
it's
back to
not.
kind of changing back your lifestyle, you know, by the time spring come back around, you could be a whole different person. Um,
Exactly.
and and that's just dealing with one part of it. That's the physical part of it. Like you want to feel good, you want to feel a certain way. But the most important part is the health piece. Um, is being healthy. And a part of
Mm-hmm.
being healthy and being preventative with COVID is that you have a good immune system, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
me, I'm a big vitamin buff. I love vitamins and supplements. So I've always been on my game with that. But it defeats the purpose of taking all these great, immune boosting things, but then
If
you're
you're not
eating the
eating
things
right.
that the things that you're putting into your body is taking down
Exactly.
your immune system. So you're being counterproductive, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Um, and I know that. So for me, physically, COVID hasn't been as successful as far as physical fitness for me as it has been for you. Um, but, I think that you knowing that and understanding that, like me being honest with myself, is so important part of the
Mm-hmm.
process too. Of saying I need to change, I need to fix
Mm-hmm.
this and turn this around quickly because
Yes.
stuff like this can get totally away from you. And the next thing you know, when people see you in spring, when we might can go outside, people
They're
gonna say,
gonna be like,
"Yo,
"Oh my God, did you see
what?
Terrence?"
What happened to you, man? Like, damn, man, what happened to you out here in the game?" And so like and you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I
No.
know I don't want that. You ain't got to worry about it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? For me,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Of
Um,
course.
and so when it comes to physical fitness, how do you think that impacts, you know, like your mental health?
It's a big thing.
Hmm.
Well, the number one rule I have for myself is do not compare yourself to other people. What you can do is what you can do. Don't overexert yourself. Um, because I do see a lot of people are, they beat themselves up because they don't look a certain way when they go on social
Yeah.
media.
Yes.
I can admit that I have taken breaks from social media because I've felt like, okay, this is too much. Maybe I just need to take a step back and just focus on myself,
Hmm.
unplug for a while. But
Right.
other than that, but fitness, when you work out, it for me it puts me in a better mood.
Hmm.
It's like it's like a reward for me. It's kind of like a
Right.
celebration of what my body could do for me. So
Mm.
I try to, enjoy it even when it gets tough. I'm still very grateful.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think number one, don't compare yourself to other people, and just appreciate what your body can do for you. If you can't do what you want to do, just keep working on it. You're not gonna be able to, you know, get to your goals overnight.
Right.
And be consistent. You have to be consistent because if you don't lose like 5 pounds one week, that necessarily doesn't mean anything. That means you may have, your body composition may have changed. So, you know, if I'm 165 and I'm, have high fat percentage, and I'm 165 and I have low fat percentage, you look like two completely different people. So,
Right.
that's the main thing about fitness. Like those are just the main points.
And that's a gem right there. You said appreciate what your body can do for you. And I
Yes.
think we live in a world where everything is instant gratification, right? Everything is
Yes.
like you want the body that you want like right now, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
how much time did it take for you to kind of tear it down with just all the stuff that you've been eating?
Yes.
Or you might have a health condition that could prevent, the fast growth that you're looking for, So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's very
Yeah.
important to be patient with yourself, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all about being good to yourself, being patient with yourself, setting
Mm-hmm.
realistic goals, like you said before, right? Not no
Right.
50, not 50 pounds in 30 days, because truthfully speaking,
Yeah.
if you do that, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that, and you're probably doing something that's not healthy um, for you or your
Right.
body, right?
Right.
Um, and yes, comparisons are brutal because look, I follow The Rock, and it's not gonna happen in my lifetime. I understand that about
Some
myself.
people take supplements. You don't know what they do,
Yeah,
so that's
you
definitely an
don't.
unrealistic goal.
It's not a
Yeah,
realistic goal for
exactly.
me in my life, but you could be the best version of yourself and whatever that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as, to me, as long as you're healthy, you know what I'm saying? That's all that really matters. Like you're truly healthy and that you can go to the doctor and get a clean bill of health, right? And
Mm-hmm.
say, huh,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm okay. So I think that's super important, especially with the instant gratification. And when you're looking at
Yeah.
these trainers online too, it's like you may not can do what they can do at the moment. Like somebody just starting out may not can do what Athena does. Period.
But it
It's
takes
That's
time
just
and
the
it takes
reality.
practice.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
I follow somebody also named Massey. Her name is Massey Arias, I
Oh,
think.
yes. I follow her
Yeah,
as
I
well.
love her.
Me
I love
too.
her, but but I can't do what she do. Like I can't. Like, and
She's
the
been
way
doing
she
it for
be
a
doing
long
stuff at
time.
home. Yeah, I follow her
Mm-hmm.
story. She's from New York. She has a good story too.
Yep.
From where she came from to where she is now is super amazing. But like when I see her doing these things at home, like I said, how? Like she's using furniture, she's using things to strap to the door. Like I said, yo, I'm gonna break my door. Like this there's no way that I can do these things. Like it's just not realistic for me. So like you
Mm-hmm.
got to really be honest with yourself. I'm not saying don't push yourself, but push yourself, but just set realistic expectations and
Absolutely.
goals, especially like
Yeah.
when you're watching these celebrity trainers that's been doing it for 15 years and you've only been doing it for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You got to just chill and stop. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about how important is it for like stretching? And because for me, um, I started doing yoga like 5 years ago, off and on. And
Hmm.
when I was doing it, yo, like when I worked out, I didn't have any type of pain the next day. Like my body felt completely different versus not doing it. Not doing it,
Hmm.
I was sore for like 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
whatever it was. But yoga, like it had me on a different level.
Hmm. It's
Like,
good
what
to
do you think about
do.
that?
It's good to do like a moving stretch before you work out.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get older, stretching is very beneficial. We need to
Whew.
stretch because we're getting older. Like once you hit that 30 mark, I'm telling you, like you wake up not doing anything, but you're in pain for no reason. So stretching is very, very vital. Yoga, I did dabble in a little bit of hot yoga. I
Hot
thought it
yoga.
was great.
Oh,
Yes, over
oh,
in
I ain't do all
Medical
that now.
Center. Yeah,
Ooh.
it was really nice before, COVID. We're in a hot sauna with like 100 degrees. And so
Oh,
your
I pass
muscles
out.
are more warmed up and everything like that. But, I do think stretching is definitely beneficial. Yoga is a great way to start if you're new to, fitness.
Mm-hmm.
If some people might be intimidated by weights or running or, even if they're like injured and they've been cleared by their doctor, they can do yoga. It's very low impact, less invasive. It's just stretching. It's very beneficial. And it's all about breathing. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And once you use that breathing like technique, you'll be able to do things a lot better in other aspects of fitness, running, weightlifting, core exercises. Um, I think yoga is a very good place to start if you have not, done anything fitness wise in a while, or if you're a beginner.
So, man, so first of all, congratulations to you for even doing hot yoga. The way my body is set up, that's a hospital bill for me. I can't do that. But I want to be clear about yoga. Before anybody does yoga, I started yoga when I was in the prime of like my fitness life. Like I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, doing
Hmm.
things. I was amazing. So I said, I'm gonna go do this yoga thing and knock it out. No problem. It's
Oh,
easy
really?
money.
Okay.
I
Easy?
said, I'm not saying,
Okay.
yeah, I was doing like, cause I was doing some things like I was boxing 5 days. Like I was doing a lot. I was much more active. But when I tell you, I was probably the best shape. I started yoga when I was in the best shape of my life. Yo, let me tell you something. The first class I took, I was sweating like Patrick Ewing. I was sweating like I like the, and I'm talking within 5 minutes. Like the
Yeah.
sweat was pouring down my face, and I wasn't even moving. Like I
Yoga's
was
no joke.
sweating. I couldn't believe it. Like I was
No
like,
joke.
I said, yo, I don't understand this. I said, I don't get it. And the next day, I was in so much pain. Like I'm talking pain in places I never felt pain before. So even if you're working out, even if you're a workout warrior and you think that yoga ain't it and it's just smooth, I'm trying to explain it to you. I'm trying to tell you right now, it is not easy, especially when you first start. It is not
Hmm.
easy. Take your time with it.
No.
Um, don't be me. Do not be me at any point because I got taught a real lesson. And it's funny because I went with some guys that I was going to the gym with that was doing a whole bunch,
Hmm.
they was doing CrossFit. They was crazy in the weights. Like these dudes, like just I was like, okay, they were struggling in the yoga. I say,
It
yo,
goes to
I say,
show,
yeah.
stretching is very, very beneficial. And if you don't do that, you're going to be struggling in that class.
Oh, I mean, listen, I learned my lesson now. But the one thing that I was able to get during COVID was like yoga blocks.
Oh, good.
because
Good.
yeah, because like when I hurt my knee, I needed to start doing some different types of stretches and stuff like that. So I was
Hmm.
able to get some yoga equipment, so I could just get back on the ground with that because that's gonna help my knee out too.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like I told you yesterday. I hurt my knee stretching. Don't ask me how, but I ended up with a pretty interesting injury that I had to go to rehab for. Um,
Hmm.
you know, just through stretching, and it probably was
Hmm.
because I didn't stretch before. I just went and I, did the walk or whatever the case is, came back, I did a stretch, and my knee was a wrap for about 4 weeks, and then I had to do rehab. So I think it's like you said, it's very important to stretch before
Hmm.
and after.
Hmm.
Um, so as far as starting this lifestyle, right? Like, so it's like you need to change. I'm lazy, so let's just say I come to you and I say, yo, Athena, look, I'm having a hard time even just mustering up the motivation to even start. Like, what would you say is a good startup like workout? To just, I haven't worked out in a few months. I want to get back into it. Like, what would you say is a good just starter workout?
It depends. It does depend on what you want your goals to be.
True, true.
Now, if you are, obese, I would definitely start you off with something low impact.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a class where you're able to, be around people and there's some type of camaraderie. People are suffering
Mm-hmm.
with you in a way.
Right.
um,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just like fell off, then, I would just send workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like a workout plan, something that you could do. Depends on if you want to build stamina, then it would be like something more aerobic training. Now, if you want to get stronger, it would be more like calisthenics, like that kind of thing. So it does depend on what your goals are.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
not, it's not what, each workout is not a one size fit all for each person.
Right. 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 Okay. And
Yeah.
same thing with the dieting and the meal prepping. You know, it's like I said, I was been meal prepping for 2 years and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to find things to first of all, you save money on buying lunch all the time, right?
Yes,
Uh,
that's a big thing.
and yeah, I was spending like $13 a day on like stuff
Oh,
in Manhattan,
good.
like, and it's just like 13. Then sometimes you spend $18 on lunch, and it's so like you start to save money, but for me, I was doing a lot of like grilled chicken, broccoli, um, sometimes, salads sometimes, and, stuff like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but, you seem to have more of a creative, like meal prepping, like, cause it's like I said, I see you with the shake, different types of shakes, different breakfasts, different lunches, like you got everything just like, and it all looks amazing, right? So
Thank
like,
you.
So what is it? Like whether do you find it on Pinterest? Do you have a particular site? Like
I
what
do.
do you do?
Yes, I love Pinterest. I
Oh.
do love Pinterest. That is a huge thing. There are a lot of recipes that are, like I said, lifestyle. So you can eat lasagna, but you can make it the healthy way. And you can find a recipe on Pinterest. Like instead of a layer of lasagna, you could do a layer of zucchini if it's up to you, or not add cheese with it, or instead of ground beef, substitute it with ground chicken or, ground turkey if you'd like. But I really like trying new ideas. There's been a lot of
Hmm.
times where the food does not come out as good as I'd like for it, but it's a lot of trial and error. But
Hmm.
yeah, I love Pinterest. You know, I love to try out new recipes, and Instagram also has a
Hmm.
lot of recipes if you search. So I really
Right.
like doing, um, you know, I really do like checking and looking for new things to do, especially if I'm in the mood, because you don't want to keep
Hmm.
eating the same things over and over again. It's a lot of you need to do a lot of variety. You have to have a lot of variety because it'll get real old real quick. And then you and
Um.
then then McDonald's starts smelling real good. And then you start,
Ooh.
like you have to make sure that, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
variety.
And because like I think for me, like once I get into this mindset of like fitness and eating well, I kind of
Hmm.
throw out the window of like taste and this stuff and what I like
Oh my
because then
gosh.
because I try to be disciplined in the fact that you know what this is meant to be good for me, right? Like good for me doesn't always equate to tasting good, you know, like it doesn't always do
Oh,
that. So
yeah.
I just get into to this routine of like, all right, this is just what it's gonna be, and whatever it tastes like, it tastes like. You know, I mean, now when I cook, you know, of course, try to make it as tasty as possible, but it's not gonna be like the stuff that we all that we really, really, truly like. You know, so
No, yeah.
I skimp on the taste sometimes like when it comes to meal prepping, but I think that you make a good point. Is finding substitutes that truly fit, you know, kind of our own taste buds. You know, like you said, like the ground turkey, that could be an amazing idea, right? Oh, I think
Yeah.
said Matt, so Matt said, yeah. I mean, I mean, that could be an amazing idea to come from all this. So, you know, I'm just saying he's got a right idea. Cooking with the Athena, yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, I swear, like when I look at your stories, you be doing the shakes and all that. I think you put me on to the to the protein powder I was looking for because um I didn't know really what to get. Because
Mm.
sometimes like the things that they sell out here, you know, I really do like to watch what I put as far as like things that's in my
Have a lot
body
of
and stuff like
chemicals
that.
and a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
a lot of these
chemicals.
protein things, yeah, and then it mess up your
Yeah,
liver and all of that, you know, and it's just like I don't,
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know, so I'm glad that when I hit you up about the protein, I got one of the ones that and it's really good too. Um,
Hmm.
so that helped me out a lot too. Um, so when it comes to your health, right, like your physical health,
Hmm.
and it comes to dieting too. Well, I'm gonna get away from that word. Your lifestyle, right?
Yes.
So when you were doing personal training, with your clients, did you link the two? Like, did you like give them like food tips as well?
I would
Um,
give them suggestions because I
hmm
am not a nutritionist.
right.
So, if
hmm
they ask me which one would you prefer, A or B, I would say B. Like I would let them know. If they're
hmm
like, well, what do should I have this after my workout or this? Like I would
hmm
try to lean them in the right direction. But because I'm
Right.
not a nutritionist or dietitian, I legally cannot tell people exactly what to eat,
Right. Right.
especially when I'm
Right.
training them. But I can tell them what to do. Like you could do 10
Mm.
push-ups, you can do, A, B, and C, but I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, but I would try to steer them in the right direction based on their goal.
hmm
If they wanted to get leaner, I'm like, you have to eat more protein. If they wanted to gain weight, I would say you got to eat a little bit more carbs and we got to lift a little bit heavier, that kind of thing.
Right.
So
So I've never had a nutritionist or a dietitian. Would you recommend that that's something that we should get, especially in our community? Like, do you think that's something that's
I,
um
if you have like if there's like a reason medically or if you're really serious or absolutely you should definitely try one if you may be overeating or not taking control of your own diet. I think that is a big help.
hmm
Especially in this community, there are I go on Uber Eats, I put in healthy, there's nothing but like Popeye's chicken and everything around. So,
yeah.
a lot of people don't have, the options of, meal prep or they're not educated to,
hmm
do what they're supposed to be doing. And unfortunately, they wear what they eat. And I think
Mm.
some people need to be educated. So if,
Right.
needed be, if they need to see a dietitian or nutritionist just to get some tips about something, I definitely would recommend it. It's especially because it's coming from a professional and they know exactly what they're talking about.
Right.
There are some people, like you mentioned before, that might just diet and restrict themselves from one specific type of food or
Right.
not eat enough of the food and not get the nutritional value that they're supposed to be getting daily. So I definitely
hmm
recommend a nutritionist or dietitian if this is something new for them.
And that's something that, and now that we're talking about it, that's something could be amazing for a lot of different people. Because if you think about it, a lot of us, we always harp on physical fitness and the gym and, you know, doing those things. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and we get trainers for that. You know, like we get personal trainers, or, you know, whether it be boxing or personal trainers or whatever the case is, and we go to the gym. But when it comes to food, a lot of times we get our information from, you know, people who are on the internet that sell you, like, you know, oh well, maybe you
The
should do this meal
detox
prep
teas
thing, or,
and
you know,
yeah.
join our meal prep club, you know, and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's just like, maybe we should have more, you know, dietitians and nutritionists at our disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think those are the things now. If because now if I'm going to the gym and I'm working out, and I want to make a lifestyle change, and I have a dietitian or a nutritionist, and I'm following what they are telling me as well, then those two things combined can probably get me on a fast track, um, to health. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to health and better physical fitness, because as much as you work out, if you don't put the right things in your body, it's just kind of productive. You know, it's just like I
Absolutely.
was saying earlier, right?
Mhm.
So
You
that
don't
could
want to
be
eat
something
your
that,
workout, you know? You don't want to and that's some things unfortunately some people think like, "Oh, well, I ran 3 miles so I could just eat whatever I want." It doesn't work that way,
no.
especially if you're trying to lose weight. You have to have, a caloric deficit if you want to see some changes. And each pound is like so many calories that you have to not eat throughout
Hmm.
the week, so you have to be mindful of that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
I definitely agree with you. We should definitely have more dietitians and more nutritionists at our disposal so we'd be able to, be educated.
And those are things that we don't talk about. I feel like those are things that we just talk about, you know, personal trainers and just, you know, which exercise or routines that we should do. But a lot of us aren't really talking about the food that we're eating, you know,
Hmm.
and who's monitoring that, right?
Hmm.
Like you may have an accountability partner for, you know, your physical fitness and a gym buddy, right? But you don't have anybody monitoring what's going, like what you're eating,
Hmm.
right? You know, so that's something that I think that is a good conversation starter, a separate conversation. But I think that's something that I think in our communities, especially that we should look at,
Hmm.
because, you know, we eat a lot of things that we shouldn't eat,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, and it's also on a daily basis. You know, like we be eating like the mac and cheese, you know, the collard greens, the neck bones, the fried
And
chicken, the
it does
pork
add
chops,
up. It
and it
does add
adds
up.
up, and it's every day. And it's every day, you know, it's fast food every day, you know, it's things like that. And then we're like, oh, so we're about to go to the gym. And when I was younger, I was guilty of it myself. You know, I was
Yeah.
going to the gym and I was going to Applebee's right after.
Because we're
I mean, because
younger, because
Applebee's
we're
was
younger,
right
we could
across the
do
street.
that. Now I can't go past an Applebee's without, some people can't go
But
past
could we
without
do it
smelling
though?
it, and it smells so good. You just want to go in there. Another thing is
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have the means to get a nutritionist or dietitian, there are
Right.
some accountability apps that you can, like MyFitnessPal, LifeSum, those type of apps that you can just put in exactly what you ate, and it shows how many calories. So it shows you, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, if you want to lose weight, you have to have this amount of calories. But
Mm-hmm.
that comes with the discipline of actually putting down what you're eating for the day.
Right, right.
That's another
And,
thing.
and it's funny that you said that we could do it because we're younger, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
could we do it? I know we did it, but just because we could do it, it doesn't mean that it was healthy, because everything adds
Exactly.
up. Like everything
Exactly.
adds up over the course of your life and everything that you put. Because just because you're younger, it may not show in your body, but
Hmm.
it's in your blood, right? It's in
Yeah.
your arteries. Like it's you know. So, and it shows up later when you're older. You know, diabetes. You know, heart conditions,
Unfortunately,
you,
yeah.
you know, things like that. And it's things that happen when you thought that you could do it because it didn't show up in the physical form. You know what I'm saying? Because I was doing things at 20 that I know I shouldn't have been doing. I shouldn't have been eating. I mean,
I
no,
know.
no, I'm
No,
trying to tell you,
I'm
it was
thinking the same
disgusting.
thing too. Like,
No, I mean, it was disgusting.
the
Like, I'm talking
eating, the
disgusting. I'm talking like, I used to go to White Castle and order 30 burgers. It's called
oh
a crave cake.
wow.
2 in the morning, crave cakes. Me and my
Oh my
boy,
gosh.
kill it. You know,
You can't do
with
that
the onion rings
anymore.
and all of that.
You can't do that
Yeah,
anymore. Absolutely
yeah.
not.
You know, I go to McDonald's, I get the 2 for $5 Big Mac with the medium milkshake, the 3 chocolate chip cookies. That's my
No,
dinner.
we
I'm
can't.
trying
Yeah,
to
we
tell you
can't do
something.
that
Like when I was
anymore.
younger, I was different.
We didn't know
I was a
better though.
different guy.
We didn't know better, and that's the
I mean,
thing.
you knew better. You knew you shouldn't do that stuff, but you did it. I mean, I knew,
Well,
but I didn't
well,
care.
for me, McDonald's was kind of like a reward. Like I would, you know, if I was good, you would go to McDonald's. So I would think of it as a reward, and that's something that I'm definitely not going to be doing. When I have kids, it won't be like a reward or anything like that. But or if you're good, you'll have this. If you're good, you'll have. I'm not going to make food a reward. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want them to
True.
think it's something that, but I didn't know better. I thought, if I'm good, I'm gonna get some McDonald's, that
Yeah,
kind
my
of
God.
thing.
And I
Yeah.
got the same thing. I remember getting a reward from Burger King, McDonald's, and stuff like that. And then,
Hmm.
but it wasn't an everyday thing because you getting home cooked meals. But once you're an adult,
Exactly.
I felt like I was missing something. I felt like I was missing out on something. And I was like, man, like I only got McDonald's as a reward. Nah, now I'm getting McDonald's whenever I want because I could afford it. Now understanding that was the only thing I probably could have afforded too. Uh,
Hmm.
because like even when you look at the salads at the time, I was 20 years old. You making, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was making like nothing, right? In college or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
And
same.
yeah, and the salad $15. What?
So
That's
you
I'm
get
gonna
the
go ahead.
burger instead.
You know
Yeah.
what I can get
You get the burger
for fifteen
instead.
dollars at McDonald's,
You get the dollar menu and then you're set for like 2 days. Like you don't have to
and I'm
no.
gonna be full. And I'm gonna be full. I'm gonna eat this salad for $15, and I'm gonna still be hungry. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
because I was also like eating whole piles of pizza on my lunch break. Like,
Oh
like I'm
wow.
telling you, I think I was disgusting. I wasn't doing the right
You
things,
were
right?
not.
But I couldn't gain a pound, not one. I didn't start
No.
gaining weight till I was 28. So for all those years, it didn't matter what I ate, how late I
Mhm.
ate,
Mhm.
couldn't gain a pound. You know, um, but what I didn't know, what I didn't know, once you start gaining, life comes at you fast. And once I hit 28, I was 135 at 28.
135?
I was 135 till I was 28.
Oh my
Couldn't gain a pound.
gosh.
Life came
Wow.
at me fast though. That 135 went to 155. That 155 went to 175. And then
Oh wow.
you sitting here like, hold on, wait. I said I wanted to gain some man weight, but I didn't say I wanted to gain all of this. You know, and I'm sitting here eating the same stuff I'm eating, and thinking like, all right,
Wow.
I'm gonna just gain like 10, maybe 15, and I should be solid or cool. But then it just went from that to that to that.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
you're in your 30s, like you said before, and it gets worse.
It
Then
does.
your metabolism really says, "Oh, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do this slow. We're gonna do this slow dance. Can I have this dance with you? Because it's gonna be slow."
It's gonna be
And
very slow.
and I had to stop eating how I was eating. But by that time,
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 years ago, I was at my heaviest. I was at 215. So
Oh
so in
man.
5 years, I went from 135 to 215.
Wow.
And you know, yeah, and I was like, how did I fall so far from grace? I went from one end of the spectrum of being 135 and people saying I couldn't gain a pound. I don't have no man weight. And then I go to 215 and people are like, well, why'd you gain so much weight? I'm like, I can't appease you people. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I can't appease none of you guys because one minute I'm too skinny, the next minute
You
I'm too
can't, you
big.
see? Yeah, you can't please
But that, but
everybody.
that, but
So,
that happens. Is what you were saying with people talking, and people
hmm
putting their expectations
on you. Of course, I need to know I
Right.
hit 215. I had to stop. And when I really put my mind to it, I dropped like 30 pounds in like 8 months,
Hmm.
because I put my mind to it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So, um, it's super important that people just really don't pay attention to what people say, because you're never gonna make
exactly.
anybody happy. I grew
Hmm.
up thinking like I was too skinny, you know, and then you gain all the weight, and then now somebody else got something to say about how much weight you gained too.
I know.
So everybody's gonna have something to say, but just do what's best for you. But
Yep,
ultimately, I feel like just do what's best for your health,
that part.
because
Yes.
people, they want this to look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing, but it's about also what's going on internally. Because just
Right.
because you look good, it doesn't mean that that you're doing the right things. Because I was
Right.
unhealthy for all those years. I was eating like that. I was unhealthy. I
Hmm.
just couldn't gain. I just couldn't gain any weight. But I
Yep.
was unhealthy. And I think people equate skinny to health.
And that's not, no, that's not, that is not it, you know.
That's the furthest from the truth.
That is the furthest from the truth. My thing of health, my definition of healthy is strong. You're strong. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can lift your own weight. You could do at least a pull up. You can, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to some extent, like being strong.
Right.
Skinny does not equal healthy. You can still be a little skinny and have that little, belly.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, their weight, goes from one spot to another. Not everybody is, the same. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people need to change their mindset about that because yeah, I agree. Skinny does not mean healthy at all.
Yeah, and to me, health is being able to go get some blood work done, and your doctor don't curse you out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because he's telling you that you have high cholesterol, you have high this, you have high that, you're pre this, you're pre that,
That's
and
scary.
to
That's
me,
very scary.
yeah. And so if you can get to the doctor, you know, even if you're skinny or whether you got a little weight on you, if you can get a clean bill of health, at some
Absolutely.
point, to me, you mean that's the most important thing. That's the most gratifying thing. And I would really tell people to go to your doctor, to go get checked out. You just don't
Hmm.
know, you know, what you got going on inside of you. It's
Right.
like we just lost Chadwick Boseman, right?
Hmm.
And he was 30, 39 when he got diagnosed with colon cancer.
Yeah, he was around that age,
Um,
late 30s.
yeah, 39. Like, and so, but that was when he was at stage 3. So that means he had to be before 39,
Right.
right? So it's like you can't always, you know, trust, just the standard practices of, you, between the ages of 45, you're supposed to go get get
No,
that test.
get that
No,
test as soon as possible. Yeah.
yeah, get that test as soon as possible, because what they say is colon cancer is one of the most manageable cancers if caught early.
Early.
But if
Caught
not,
early.
you know um it's not. So it's just, I think the main point of this whole conversation, which I'm so happy that we had, is just to be healthy.
Yes.
Um, it's good to look good, of course. That's why we do it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but definitely do it for do it for yourself, do it for your health. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have kids, do it for them too, because they're the ones that's going to be taking care of you when you sick,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And that's not fair to them, right?
No.
Um, so look, um, we got about a minute and a half left. So tell the people where they can find you, where they can find all these lovely stories that they can see, that I've already seen, so, and I'm blessed to see. So where can they find you on Instagram?
My Instagram is Athena GM, ATHENA GM. That's it. That's my Instagram
That's it.
handle.
Yo, follow her. She's amazing, just amazing human being in general. But as far as motivation, she got you with the physical fitness. She's amazing. She's a motivational, inspiring. Um, you know, and so I really do appreciate you giving the world, giving IG all of your wisdom and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Thank you for
somebody said,
having me, Terrence. Thank you.
yeah, somebody said his eyes are so baggy. Hey, listen, bruh. it is what it is. I've had these bags since I was in kindergarten, bro. So it is what it is. Yo, but listen, but we're gonna keep it on a positive note. Thank you. We honor you as the queen that you are, and
Thank you,
thank you for
Ken.
doing this with me. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me again.
All right, peace.
All right, bye.
Later.